I was about 12 years old, and my mother had bought a doll for my sister, a doll she really wanted, man. She was going to give it to her as a Christmas present, and then the plan was to put the wrapped present out around midnight or after she fell asleep, so that when my sister woke up, she would find the present under the Christmas tree, Santa Claus's present, right? But that day, bro, everyone forgot to put out the present. My mom forgot, my dad forgot, even I forgot that we had to put the present out for my sister. When I woke up, man, I looked around, went to the room. My mom was sleeping, my dad was sleeping, and my sister was already awake. She had already gone to the tree to see if there was any present, from Santa Claus, man, and there was nothing. Then she thought, right, damn, didn't Santa Claus come to bring the present this year? Why, my God, what did I do wrong? I behaved so well.
That's her thinking.
Then it hit me. She already saw there were no presents. Now what? I rushed over. I told my mom, Mom, we forgot my sister's present. Now what? She already saw there's nothing there. She'll think Santa doesn't like us because he didn't bring anything. What do we do now, Mom?
Then my mom said, damn, now what, Leo?
No, here's the plan. You take her to her room and I'll put the present in the living room. Then we'll just say that Santa Claus was late. Alright, my son, let's do that. So I went, got the present, and put it under the Christmas tree. Then, to make the story more convincing, I went and got a piece of non-woven fabric, you know? That tessuto non-tessuto fabric? So I took it, tore a piece off, and put it on the window. Like that, you know? On the small window grate, like Santa Claus came in and tore his clothes there, you know? My sister was about 4 or 5 and believed Santa Claus was real, so I carried out this mission, guys. I called, Mom, baby, come here, my sister. When she came, I said, wow, Santa Claus was here. He was late this year. Something must have happened, but he brought your present. See what it is, my daughter? She checked and saw it was the doll she wanted. She was dying to have it. Cool, right? I showed her the little thing at the window and said, look, Santa Claus came by and even tore his clothes. Wow, he was here. Leo, that's awesome. But how did he get through those bars? Isn't he fat? I said, I don't know. What if he uses magic to deliver all those presents in one night? He must have magic, right? He was late, but he made it, and everyone was happy, bro. Thanks, my friends. Merry Christmas to everyone and a kiss from the heart. Bye. I've always been fascinated by fighting, loving cartoons, movies, and fighting games since I was a kid. I was always fighting the invisible man at home, you know. That's the sound of the invisible man and me fighting. And people thought I was a retarded kid. But anyway, one day I had nothing to do. There was an hour left before my favorite anime started. I'm going to stack a bunch of soda cans and do a flying kick at them. Why not? Wow, what a brilliant idea, man. Alright, very good. So I went to the backyard and stacked a bunch of cans. I don't know how I managed to balance them. It got pretty tall. Anyway, it's time for me to finish them off. I stepped back, prepared, and went for it. I went running, man, running, with fire in my eyes, getting close to that jump. And I kept my legs in the flying kick position for a while. I imagined to myself, I'll fly like Liu Kang.
I drained the battery.
There were cans everywhere, bro.
And I didn't put my feet on the ground. I kept the flying kick position, trying to do it just like in the games, you know? That's when I messed up, man. I hit the ground, dragging my legs, knees, shins, little toe, fingernail, everything scraping on the rough ground. Right away, I looked at myself and saw the mess I had made, and I yelled, Mom! My mom came just like a superhero, flying over. Those lights are like the sky opening. What happened, son? Why did you fall to the floor? And then I was really happy because I was being treated and cared for, and there I was all banged up and with bandages all over my legs.
My mom turned on the television and I watched my anime.
Moral of the story, my friends, respect gravity. A big problem I faced when I started going to my girlfriend's house was dealing with my physiology. Every time I felt like farting, man, it was a reason for me to break out in a cold sweat and try my hardest to control myself so nothing would slip out. Any unwanted flatulence could create a really embarrassing situation, right? There was a day when I was holding in my gas all day and my stomach was already making some weird noises. It was a mix of gas and the urge to poop. I go to the bathroom to try to relieve this torment. But I was really afraid of making too much noise and the people outside would hear it. That would be really embarrassing. So I sat on the throne and tried to control the release in a very subtle way. Dude, I was sweating cold, trying to control that colossal log coming out of me, man. Another problem was the impact of the poop hitting the water, right? That's when I thought about covering up the noise with some forced coughs. That's it, man, you have to think about everything. No, and do you think it ended there? And how do you cover up the smell of methane spreading in the bathroom? Don't pay attention. I learned that to get rid of the smell of crap quickly and effectively, you just strike a match in the bathroom like this. Burning off the gas removes the bad smell. Understood? You can do it now. When you use someone else's bathroom, relax, nothing will happen. I remember the day when I woke up around 6 in the morning with my intestines full of crap. Quickly, I ran to the bathroom and released that beautiful abstract art. After relieving myself, I took a thorough shower to wash my ass and go back to sleep. But I made a big mistake. I left the flushing for after my shower. How stupid. That's when I forgot to flush, right? To get rid of that crap. When I get back to bed and start getting ready to sleep, I see my mother-in-law going to the bathroom. I suddenly remember I didn't flush. How embarrassing. My mother-in-law will see it. Then I hear the toilet flush. Afterwards, I kept imagining what she thought of me. Damn, what a dirty guy. He poops in other people's house and doesn't even flush. Moral of the story, my friends, don't leave any traces in other people's bathrooms. I've always been someone who thought about drawing 24 hours a day. Any time of the day you went to my house, I would be drawing or watching an anime. Just tell me, what is Kakarot's power level? It's over 8,000. I was so addicted that I even drew on the street pavement, man. At school, it was really hard to pay attention in class because most of them didn't interest me enough to make me stop drawing. I was in 5th grade in a super boring Portuguese class, the kind of class that could put even an insomniac to sleep, so I was really bored. My friend and I had the idea to draw while the class was going on. We started drawing quietly and the teacher kept talking non-stop. Why the subject pronoun, blah blah blah. And we kept on drawing there and talking quietly so she wouldn't hear anything. But unfortunately, she noticed we weren't paying attention to her. The teacher stopped talking and looked our way and the classroom fell silent. I hadn't noticed and was talking to my classmate, and he was just sitting there with a dumb look on his face, sweating nervously while I kept talking to him. When all of a sudden, I look back and see that everyone was looking at us.
We screwed up, man.
Then the teacher said,
If you two are talking during my lesson, you must already understand everything, right? Tell me, what is the subject pronoun? Leo Augusto.
I don't know, teacher. I really don't.
Mauricinho, what is the subject pronoun?
My friend managed to answer the teacher's question and she said the following.
Mauricinho, don't stay close to that kind of people because otherwise you'll have a hard time in life. Come here to the front, sit here in the front. You're smart and you don't have to mix with them.
Mano, I felt like crap after that, man. That messed up my mind so much that I still remember that crap to this day. But look at what that led to. After a while, the teacher started asking me to do some caricatures of poets. Look how things are. So in the end, you don't really care about the students learning, do you? So, as long as the student does what you want and keeps you happy, right, slacker? After a while, the teacher introduced me to a school art group where we made stop-motion animations and drew on the computer. At the time, the situation was kind of rough and we had never used a PC before.
The moral of the story, guys.
Don't get caught drawing in the classroom. By a natural mistake, I was born with my teeth switched. Instead of a human dental arch, I was born with a crocodile's. I learned to live like this, and in my mind, it was fine to look like a walking can opener.
You know when we get comfortable with something and end up just going along with it?
So, that was me with my teeth, until one day my sister got braces. That gave me the motivation to get them too. I went to the dentist and had to get x-rays done to go through all those procedures and get the braces. I already imagined it would be hard to have all that metal in my mouth. Man, it sucked. Those first few days with that thing, I couldn't even eat properly. Everything was hurting. 2 years went by and I wasn't as horrible as before anymore. I already looked human and was smiling, no longer afraid of looking like a mutant. Recently I had to change dentists, so I went to a clinic near my house, right? When I got there, I was seen by a doctor who had some pretty weird equipment. When he was changing the wires, I noticed that he had a serious tremor in his hands. Man, it popped into my mind right away. Damn, man, this guy has Parkinson's.
I've been hurt a few times in my gums. Ah, help.
Besides being bizarre, I realized that the old man was a wise man. He ran a thread across my face and found that my teeth were still misaligned. In other words, the previous dentist was messing things up. Man, because after 2 years and things are still wrong, out of alignment, that's just messed up, right? To my surprise, everything turned out fine. I kept breathing. I can't wait to get rid of these braces and have my mouth free to eat whatever I want. Moral of the story, my friends, don't judge a weird dentist. He might save your dental arch. Hey friends, it's Leo. Today I'll share a story that happened to me. While running with my fiancé, I was trying to lose this belly fat. This crap looks terrible, man. It's way too bad. I've already punched it a bunch of times, hit it, and this crap just won't leave me, man. What's up with that? We went running in this busy park that's great for exercise. Lots of people go there to lose weight. The place was packed with snack bars, making it tough to run with food smells everywhere.
But we kept going and kept running just fine. We're not going to eat anything. No, because otherwise we won't lose any weight at all.
We came here to lose, not to gain. So let's go. We kept running. We ran for half an hour. And then we saw 3 women approaching the people who were running. Guess what they were giving out? Crazy pizza. They were giving pizza to the people who were running. They were offering little squares of crazy pizza.
Do you have any idea what that is?
We'll walk and run. And those sons of a gun go and take the pizza to the square just to get you off track, man. I got really pissed off for real. If I wanted pizza, I'd go to a pizzeria. I want to run, so I go to the square. You don't need to keep coming there.
I'm offering free food. Dude, no.
And the funny thing is, that same pizzeria where those women worked was the one I had a problem with, man. Once, I called to order a pizza and had already finished giving my order to the attendant. I told them my pizza order and size. The attendant put me on hold to answer another call, and he left me there for about 5 or 6 minutes without saying anything, man. When he returned, he asked, "What did you order again, sir?" As if he hadn't written it down.
No, I was pissed off that day, and it even took away my appetite for what I wanted to eat, man.
And now they're putting people out there to hand out pizza in the square. Seriously, that's trash.
We stayed strong and kept doing the exercise just fine.
Hey, how's everyone?
This is Leo, and today I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me when I was about 8 years old. You know, I was just a kid, always getting into trouble, pulling those little pranks, and when you get caught, you get a good smack on the butt. One day I felt like making a plastic parachute. I don't know where I saw that, but I just really wanted to make one. You know what I mean? Take the plastic, use a stone to cut out the shape, and tie several strings around that bag. And from there, you tie a stone to the end of it to the little strings and throw that thing from up high. And watch the little plastic parachute fall down smoothly. So I did that. I took the plastic, cut it, tied everything up, went up to the roof of my house, and from the roof I threw it, right? I tossed a small parachute project and it floated down smoothly. But instead of falling to the ground, it landed in the tree. It got stuck up there in the tree, right? And then I was like, oh man, now I'm in trouble. I'm gonna have to climb that tree to rescue my little parachute and keep playing, right? Cool. I went there, climbed the tree. This tree was next to my house, so I climbed it. It took a lot of effort, but I managed to rescue the thing. After I got my little parachute, all happy, I'm up in the tree. I decide to jump from the tree to the doorstep, to the ground of my house, right? Wrong? I got ready. I jumped from the tree to my doorstep, but my brother had a clothesline in front, and I didn't see it, man. I didn't see that clothesline. Dude, I jumped, and in the air, my forehead went right up against the string like this. And it spun me backwards, dude. I fell on my back and hit my head on the edge of the door frame. My brother cracked my head, gave me a really hard hit right on my crazy head. I immediately felt dizzy and disoriented, staring at the floor as if I were hanging on a wall. But my mind flipped and everything felt dizzy. So I screamed, what's happening? Damn, man, I got this weird dizziness. I thought I had gone crazy, but then I looked around like this. Then the image distorted. I realized it was the floor, not the wall. I was hugging the floor like this. Damn, that's weird. I got really freaked out. Mom, I broke my head. Then my mom showed up. What are you doing here, kid? Up to no good, making trouble, right? I can't leave you alone. You already go and mess things up and break your head. I'm taking you to the hospital. They'll give you a shot and find out what's wrong. They'll give you several tetanus shots. Then my mom took me under the shower, put my big head like this, which was bleeding. I saw blood. I said, Mom, don't let me die. Mom, don't let me die. And then she was washing herself and saying, yeah, keep messing around and see what happens. I was desperate. Oh no, blood, my head's punctured and hurts. What is this?
What's happening, my God?
I think it was the first time I seriously hurt myself, like when a lot of blood came out, you know? And I was traumatized because, man, what was that? My brother? I couldn't see clearly. Everything looked crooked and the floor appeared like a vertical wall.
That's crazy.
It was a hit from about 1 meter high, not 1.5 meters, around there, almost 2, about 1 meter, right? It's about 1.5 meters. Besides the speed I jumped and the impact when my head hit the ground, man, I was really close to dying. That's it, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Share this amazing channel with your friends so they can check it out and subscribe too, alright? That's us! Woohoo! Bye bye! Leo, why do you draw your legs so weird? Your legs are all muscular, those ripped legs. Man, why do you draw those legs? Does that make you look weird?
I draw those ripped legs.
Because when I was a kid, I was walking down the street when suddenly I tripped. I didn't have the strength to move. It was such a big fall that I hit my face on the ground, and that's how I ended up with this ugly face I have today. You ask me why I keep drawing legs that are so muscular, strong, and manly? I have trauma from my weak legs. The weakness of my legs became something terrible for me. And I still have nightmares to this day. So, when I draw strong and muscular legs, I feel better, I feel good, I feel like someone strong. Hey friends, how are you? This is Leo, and today I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me in 2009 when I was in high school.
During break, I started drawing.
There were some friends nearby and I was drawing. Some said, wow, Leo, that's awesome and really cool. Why don't you draw me? Make a drawing of me, make a caricature of me. So I decided to do it, right? To make the drawing. Because this guy who asked, he had some really interesting, very striking characteristic features, you know? He was easy to caricature. I began drawing him from a distance as he stood there and continued sketching. The other classmates stayed close, watching and all. Then, when I finished the drawing, man, it turned out cool. It looked great. Ha ha ha, not beautiful, right? The drawing was interesting, so I showed it to everyone. The guys had seen it already, but I later showed everyone. Everyone laughed at the kid in the drawing. Then he got really mad at me, man. He tried to grab the drawing real quick in a hurry so he could tear it up. I took it away right then, you know? I took it and said, what's up, man? This is art. You can't do that. It's a tribute to you. Come on, Leo. You can't do that, man. You drew me with a big nose, all weird, all ugly. Wait, you were supposed to draw my caricature, but this looks like a monster. Why? I'm not tearing it up, man. I'm going to rip it apart. And then everyone started laughing, right? Laughing a lot at his reaction, even though he was the one who asked me to do the drawing to make the caricature. That's what a caricature is, right? You highlight the person's features and make the drawing. It's kind of an exaggerated thing, you know? And then he got really upset with me, man. It's kind of funny because when someone asks you to draw them, they don't want you to put their most striking features in the drawing. Like, if they have a huge mouth like I do or a huge nose, they don't want that to show up in the drawing. Most people are like that, kind of sensitive about those certain exaggerated features they have. Then they get mad at the artist. Are you crazy? You asked for the caricature, I did it. Here it is. Check it out, handsome. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
Hey my friends, welcome to another video here on the channel.
Today, I'll share a story that happened to me. When I was going with my family to the Northeast, it was the year 2007. My grandmother was born there and hadn't seen her relatives in decades. My father decided to take us by car to the Northeast. That's right, guys, going from Rio de Janeiro all the way to Pernambuco. Damn, man, that's over 1,000 kilometers, I think, right? Over 1,000 kilometers. Let me check Google Maps. Damn. So, alright, what's up, man? We took the car. At the time, my dad had a little white Go, you know, that round one. So he took that ride and we hit the road. Man, I had never seen so much wilderness in my life. There was so much grass, dude. Grass, cows, bulls, everything. We spent a few days on the road. When we got to Bahia at a certain place, we didn't know where to go, you know? We wanted to find a place to stay because it was already getting dark and we couldn't stay on the road until late at night, right? My father needed to rest after driving for over 12 hours, maybe 10 or 8, I'm not sure. He'd been driving for hours and we needed to rest. So, we were at the crossroads, something like that. There was nobody there, man, nobody, you know? Not a single living soul around. We couldn't ask anyone for directions, there wasn't even a dog to ask, nothing. Then, suddenly, we saw an ambulance turning onto a street, onto a road. Then my dad said, "My brother, let's follow that ambulance to ask for directions since we don't know where to stay." We're lost, my brother. My mom was checking one of those paper maps. Back then, there was no smartphone global positioning system. There weren't even smartphones at that time, I think. My dad lightly honked at the ambulance to stop and ask for directions. Man, when he did that, that's when the ambulance started to step on the gas. Man, the ambulance started speeding down the road, and the road was full of potholes. Bro, you couldn't even drive fast with the car, and my dad was driving like 50 kilometers per hour like this. The ambulance sped at 100 km/h. My dad followed to get info, but got nothing, just potholes. Then, my dad decided to stop following the ambulance, because otherwise we were going to wreck the car's tire. Bro, we were going to blow the tire right there. You know, from hitting all those potholes. And the ambulance was speeding. It was like the road was perfectly smooth, and then the ambulance disappeared, you know, into the darkness. Then we rang the doorbell of the little farm that was there, right? A caretaker came out to meet us. Then my mother asked for information and all. Then the guy said we had to follow that road to get to a certain place so we could find somewhere to stay. Be careful on that road. There are many robberies at night and thieves steal everything. Be careful on these roads, guys. So we went, right? Scared out of our minds. Alright, let's keep going until we find this place. Everyone piled into the car and we continued down the bumpy road, driving for a long time. Suddenly, man, a really intense headlight appears behind our car. You know, man, and suddenly you just hear the siren. Terrified, my mom instantly thought a criminal disguised as a cop was trying to rob us.
Then my dad pulled over to the shoulder and waited.
Attention, this is the police. Everybody out of the car now. Hands on your head. Man, this is crazy.
I freaked out, man. I was scared. I didn't do anything, officer.
We're hardworking, decent people. We didn't do anything. Buddy, that's what I was thinking. First my dad came out, then my mom came out.
Then I came out from the back, barefoot and disheveled, and my grandma got out of the car too.
All wrinkled, hair all messy. When they saw we were a family, they lowered their headlights and spoke to us calmly and nicely. And we explained the situation, that we were lost and wanted to find a place to stay. That day was really stressful, bro, until the police officer said, "Oh sir, sorry. It's just that an ambulance called us saying there were some robbers chasing them, honking like crazy, and they said they were criminals and all that." My dad wasn't a good person. We just wanted information. It was one of the tensest moments of our lives, right? Afterwards, we managed to get to the place. My grandma saw everyone, her whole family, and that's it, folks. Everything was completed successfully. This video continues from the previous one where I mentioned going to the northeast. So guys, after a few days at my grandma's brother's house, they had bought a lot of corn. Then his great uncle's wife made traditional dishes with the corn. One thing I love, man, I really love, I like it a lot, is pamona, dude. It's wrapped with the corn husk itself. Then it's cooked, right? Tied up, and it's cooked like a little corn bundle. So they just put it in water and cook it, right? I grated the corn to make it and was so excited. I'm finally eating pamonja today. I'm really happy. This must taste great. So it was cooked, right? That night, it was finally time to eat the long-awaited pamonja. Man, when I tried it, mané, wow, it was so tasty. This is good, huh? Wow. Wow, that's delicious. I stuffed myself, ate about 3 pamonjas, mané. Wow, that was tasty, huh? Wow, after I ate the pamonja. After about half an hour, I started to feel sick, man. I started to feel weird. My mouth started to water. It started to turn into water. I was getting desperate. Mom, I think I'm going to throw up. Mom, hey kid, why do you feel sick? What did you eat? Corn pudding, Mom, I ate it. Go throw up over there, son, so it doesn't get on me. So I went to the corner.
Water kept coming out of my mouth.
Then came the waterfall and I threw up. After 10 minutes of throwing up, I was messed up. I was feeling really bad. So I went to bed like that, right? I went to my little spot to lie down, drank some water. I think I drank water and I just rested. But that was it for me. The trip was already over for me. The moment I put that pamona in my mouth, that pamona laced with bad water. That must have been it. The place was unsanitary and my great uncle's house lacked proper sanitation. The place was dirty with many flies, which ended up screwing me over. So the trip's over, right? You're sick, that's it. It just leaves a bad vibe. Just wanting to go back home. The best part was the journey, right? We went through several cities, got to know a lot of things and all that. But for me, the stay there was really bad because I got sick like this, you know? And the fun was over for me. Hey friends, welcome to another video on the channel. And today I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me when I was coming back home with my family. We were driving on an expressway called Linha Vermelha. This expressway passes through some favelas in Rio. We were more or less near Marais. And then we were just heading back, everything was fine. My mom was driving, my grandma was in the passenger seat, and my sister and I were in the back, alright? My mom once saw a line of stopped cars on the Linha Vermelha expressway. All traffic was at a standstill. And we started hearing a lot of gunshots, man, hearing a lot of gunfire right then. Then the traffic stopped completely. The police officers and the criminals from the favela were exchanging gunfire, man. It was really far away, dude. They'd hide behind the roadside wall, turn their guns and start shooting. We were a little protected because there was a small hill right next to where we were, you know. And the police, exchanging gunfire, spent a long time shooting back and forth with the criminals. Then for some reason, they told us to go through. I don't know if the police caught the criminals or if anyone was hurt.
Then the shooting stopped. I don't know if they had some kind of deal with the criminals, saying something like, "Hold on, guys.
Let's exchange gunfire here for 15 minutes, then we stop so the cars can go through. After they pass, we keep shooting at each other." Alright, criminals. Then they're like, "Alright, man, from afar, you know?" Oh my god, we're freaking out in the car. Man, damn, we can't get shot, no way. I'm too young to die, my god. Damn, everyone was ducking in the car, everyone peeing themselves, man, right? They're panicking and losing control. What kind of intense psychological pressure is this? We're in the car outside, surrounded by criminals shooting at police from the favela, and this cop is protecting himself like this, right? He'd stick his gun out from behind the wall and start firing. Man, what is this scene? Am I in Battlefield or Counter-Strike? It was insane. The police arrived and told us to go through. As we left, there were 1 or 2 cars moving ahead of us. Everything was really slow. Everyone was moving slowly to get out of our way, and we were super tense, afraid of getting hit by a stray bullet in the head right there.
And then my mom started honking, honk, 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 honk. Then the guys sped up and we got out of there fast.
Once we left, man, we started hearing gunshots again. Bang, 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 bang. That was crazy. We almost died. Totally insane. Just another chill day here in Rio, right? Just an ordinary day. What's a shootout on the expressway? In broad daylight in the afternoon. That's normal here in Rio, right guys? Just another day, another survival.
Hey my friends, this is Leo, and today I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me.
Actually, it didn't happen to me. I saw it happen to someone else who was playing Pokémon GO while walking. This video will be mixed with some animation, so I hope you like it, alright?
So, last week Pokémon GO was released. I was in the city of Rio das Ostras, a city where I lived for a long time, about 7 years.
And I was specifically at the square with my sister. We were playing Pokémon GO. In that square there were many Pokestops, a lot of gyms, and even a nest. We could catch a lot, but we were mostly just standing around playing, catching, and collecting items. And suddenly we see a group of teenagers coming toward us. One curious thing is that in this square where we were, there are some spots that are made up of cacti, you know? There are little flower beds with cacti. There are several places in the square that have that. So, you have to be careful because some cacti stick out from the grass and already go a bit into the area where you walk, you know? Into the path, into the route where you walk. So, if you're not paying close attention, you might end up bumping into those cacti, you know? So, this group was coming. But instead of looking ahead, what are they doing? They're looking at their phones playing games, right?
My brother?
The girl who was at the end, she kept walking, kept walking, kept walking, kept walking. She didn't look ahead.
And what happened?
You already know what happened, right?
The crazy cactus?
It hit her, or really she hit the cactus with her legs and stomach like this.
Damn, man.
Everyone yelled, "Watch out!" and shouted, "Dude!" They tried to warn her, but she didn't notice. She was so hooked, she focused on her phone like this. She acted like a zombie, never taking her eyes off it, you know? Be careful if you're playing Pokemon there. I know it's messed up, but I laughed a lot. I laughed so hard, man. Even before the girl hit it, I already felt the pain. Have you ever been poked by that? It's annoying that poking yourself with that stuff hurts. And then it starts itching like crazy, man. Just imagine someone getting hit with that thing and part of their body with those spikes. Man, that must be a hell of an agony. But it was really weird. When the girl got hit, I screamed too. I said, "Careful there, damn it." It's over. The addiction, the zombie effect this game has on people is brutal. Crazy. Ah man, but it was really funny. Sorry to you who got pricked by the cactus. Thanks, miss, whoever you are, and if you're watching, be careful in your city. Where do you play? Always keep in mind that our mind can't process several things at the same time. There's no way you can walk and also do something on your phone at the same time, you know? I myself was on my street, when all of a sudden I'm walking, playing, and suddenly I feel that damn pain in my collarbone.
I got hit right here. There might be a mark.
What happened?
I was playing, I hit the trash can in front of my house. Man, it's tough. You can't do a bunch of things at the same time. That's it, guys. If you play, don't die. Playing Pokemon GO is a step towards death if you're not careful.